Hey Awakening Truthers, and welcome to another video from A Plain Truth. I want to get into the origins of the Paradise Fire. They say it started in Polga in the campfire and then moved down to Paradise at 80 football fields a minute or 273 miles per hour, torched everybody out of their homes, and allegedly 52,000 people fled the fires, even though there was no warning. Even though they were being held back, countless victims have said they escaped barely, and they were kept in. But take a look at this excellent work by Mike Morales on the directed energy weapons and how the origins of this fire began.
Thing is towered way up, and if you can see this, it's putting off a huge pointed shadow, and it's really bright white right there. And it starts dropping back down, and then it's got its own signature of smoke. So it goes in two different ways. That is there. Look how you can see the shadow of whatever this is shooting way up off the ground. It's real white. All the rest of the smoke is black. It just, look at that. It just shoots up. That is something. And look, it's pointy. I hope you guys can see that. And then it just kind of, it loops back down. There's something really odd. Something exploded up into the air right there. Yeah.
So another image to cultivate your common sense is look at the waves of lines. Look at how these waves are moving from the east to the west on the day of the fires, and then when it hits the coastal waters of the west coast, it turns to white. But look at all the scalars. Look at all those lines in there. Those are all geoengineered. So why are they geoengineering it? Because they're going to place a chem fog, a Chinese chem fog, all over Northern California for the next 8 days. And this was another aspect of the many aspects of the campfire Paradise Fire as well. And here you can see the tomography, a radiogram, and time reversal showing, here we have those scalar waves. You see it up there in the left there, the radiogram. That's showing you the patterns of the chem fog that they put over us after the fires. And here you see another, look at the campfire. Look at how string along that stream is, and then it explodes over Napa, Sonoma, Mendocino counties, Lake County, and then covered the entire Northern California for like 8 days with the Chinese chem fog where you couldn't see more than 30 feet for over a week. And let's zoom on this once again, and you can see the scalar waves blowing out. And once again, we'll play it out here. Look at that explosion of scalar waves. So this is after the explosion of the event on November 8th, starting at 6:30 a.m. This is an active fire infrared signature of the fires. This was published on November 8th, the day of the fires, the campfire. So this is a one-day, this is a same-day picture of what happened. And you can see the heat. Now let's follow these two columns. There's one that starts over here, comes down through here, and then joins here. There's another column that runs along this thin line. This is 70. This is Polga up here. This is where they say it started, the campfire up this area. This is the Feather River along this side. And you can see the trail comes through here, and then this big clouds were formed going this way. That's heading, that'll be heading south-southwest. And then look at Paradise. Look at a separate event entirely. Look at the infrared heat. And then look at the blackness. Look at all the black in there where you have spaces where there's no fire burning whatsoever. And then all of a sudden it ignites right inside Paradise, but doesn't ignite anywhere around here. Look at how what the combustion is. If they're saying it's a forest fire, that means the trees are putting up all this smoke, and then all of a sudden these massive columns are put up right here. This is where I think the ignition is, right here. This plume going up here, you can see kind of a shadowy. And then you notice the stream. Look at how it streams this way. But this is loaded up right here. This is all loaded up. This isn't loaded up at all. And then you're having these streams that start going this way as we start going down even further. And then you can see this picture here. From Paradise, it goes south. It doesn't go west. It goes south. and then it goes down to San Francisco, this cover, this Chinese chem fog, whatever they put over us for 8-9 days. But take a look at the Woolsey fire that started, I think on November 9th, the day after or the same day. This is the Malibu down here, and look at the intensity of that. Look at how it's all packaged, and again, it's heading, this is heading west, and this one's heading south. So how can you have the same event horizon in the same picture, and you got one heading south and you got one heading completely west? But again, look at how this is just super packed. It's super packed with energy. And where's the fires? The fires are over here in the land. Yet all of a sudden it's all accumulating here, and then it just dissipates over the islands up there. It's at the Catalinas. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that as well. So take a look at this photograph. I believe this is the Carr fire, the eclipse fires that happened at the beginning of the summer of 2018. And I want you to look along the west coast here. That's Oregon up here. This is Northern California. San Francisco's down here. But look at the geoengineering. Look at how they're doing. Look at all the strata lines, the scalar waves, everything to keep the storm a way to protect it from coming inland to put out the fires. There's also the fires right up at the Oregon border that were going on at the same time that didn't get much reported, but there was many, hundreds of fires that began at the same time up there as well. I think that's Crater Lake up there. But look at the wispy clouds. This is what smoke from a fire does. And to give you an idea of what it looks like, this is down in Los Angeles, July 13th. Let me move this over. This is July 13th, 2016. Now, this fire had 33,000 acres and 51 square miles back in 2016, the Sandy Canyon and Placerita Canyon on the Los Angeles National Forest. It's not like in Malibu. This is a freaking forest. And look at the smoke, folks. Does it look anything like what we were showing you before about the Paradise fires or the Woolsey fires? This is another one from summer of 2018. This is Northern California, Lake County. And you can see this is the Lake County that's been hit 4 years in a row where they're planning on putting in one of the mega dams right over here. But you can see the infrared hotspot there. And look at the smoke. It's nothing like what we saw in Paradise or the Woolsey fire as well. Nothing like it at all. No density, no mass. It's not even close. Not even close. Let's show these to the firemen and firefighters. They need to know what they're getting into. So again, here's the event horizon at the beginning, which clearly looks like an explosion of many miles into the air. And you can see it here from a top down in Lake Tahoe there for comparison. But this is also, I believe, I'm not exactly sure that this is the same event from the sky, from a plane exploding up through the clouds. But we also have others like the Redding fire, that Mendocino Complex fire, which has that same kind of explosiveness that came out when the fires began as well. So it's not just the Paradise fire. This is new information. But we also have, from Mike Morales, satellite imagery, these 3 dots. These 3 dots are at the origin of the fire, surrounding where the fire started as well. And whether or not these images are placed or whether or not they're real, images can be photoshopped, we all know. But look at the 3 dots there. This is coming from some official sites there that they're saying, that they were there. There's 3 dots surrounding the fire at the origins of the fire. That was, I'll have to look at the time. And then there's this other one of an infrared, which is showing a line coming down to ignite possibly the fires. And this is another scattered radio frequency. I believe this could be Beale Air Force Base, which is about 40 miles south-southwest of the event in Paradise in Butte County as well. So we see prima facie evidence that this was frickin' a torched event, an explosion planned and executed, literally. Now let's switch gears to Malibu. Look at the massiveness, folks. You're going to tell me that's a forest fire? Look at how big the people are. The truck's maybe 15 feet. That thing's thousands of feet in the air. Thousands of feet in the air from forest fires, from trees burning. That's what they're blowing smoke up our butts and telling us that this is. Where's all the firemen? Where's the fire captains? Well, Chief Pimlott just retired. They got a new stooge in there. Maybe you can find the faces in the clouds on this one. They love to play games, but look at the massiveness of these things. And no one's questioning the official narrative where tens of thousands of people have lost their homes and are staying in motels. I've spoken with many of them. They don't know what to do. They're shell-shocked. And look at the fires here. I mean, how did it just start right there at Thousand Oaks and move to Malibu? And how did it just happen to hit some celebrities' homes, just like in Santa Barbara and the Thomas fires? And some it didn't touch at all. They just evacuated. And then this was a picture, excuse me, that was just sent to me today. This is a guy who showed this picture. And look at the car completely burnt, and the house is fine. Are you going to tell me that's a forest fire? A forest fire. And then we see the exact same type of chem fog plastic profile off of the Malibu fires here, showing the density of the aftermath of these fires and all the fires that are going on. And we have to question the service. Where is the air tenders? Where are they dropping? We didn't see any in Santa Rosa. They didn't report any in Paradise. None. Zero. Just like they reported that the fire departments were standing down. No fire trucks were coming into Paradise that day. But still, the official narrative is that it's a forest fire. These are mobile homes, dozens and dozens of mobile homes that were completely torched, yet the forest is completely fine. This is another John Knox moment to cultivate your common sense, folks. How the heck can this be a forest fire? This was not in Paradise. This was, I think, in Denver. But look at this. This is in Paradise. Are you going to tell me that is a forest fire? This is their official narrative. We must speak out. We must not let this story die. And again, getting back to how the Camp Fire and it streamed out and then it covered all of California with some type of Tesla chem fog using aerogels, but it streamed out in a narrow straw and then it fanned out from there and then exploded all over Northern California, as I've said a couple times now. And then the Santa Rosa Napa fires back in October 2017. Here's a profile where they hit one place, hit another, jumped a hill, jumped a mountain, started another fire. All these embers were jumping all over according to the official narrative. But this is the day of the fires. And look at this top right there. The smoke is going to the east. It's not going to the west. This is October 10th. The smoke's going to the east, like normal smoke and winds do. And here's the 11th. It's going to the east, not to the west, not from east to west. So here's more evidence that this was a geoengineered event, folks. And then look at this trail going down south. And then this is a picture from Patrick Roddy showing back in January of all the scalar waves they're using of 2018. So who would have done this? Get one guess. Go set the world on fire. Who set the world on fire? Well, St. Ignatius, let's ignite us. They're igniting California. They're using directed energy weapons. They're using ELF and VLF tomography underground. They're using explosive devices we still not are sure about. But one thing for sure is California is under attack. And they're going to hit us again because this is the new abnormal. And as the former governor Jerry Brown said,
I want to thank all the firefighters and first responders, the Highway Patrol, the National Guard, everyone who's worked so hard under very, very trying conditions. And our thoughts and our prayers are with those who've lost loved ones, members of their family, neighbors, and friends. This is truly a tragedy that all Californians can understand and respond to. We're requesting presidential declaration, funding coming from the federal government. Of course, there will be efforts from the state government as well. The way I would describe it, and I'm going to amend something I said before, this is not the new normal, this is the new abnormal. And this new abnormal will continue, certainly in the next 10 to 15 to 20 years. And unfortunately, the best science is telling us that dryness, warmth, drought, all those things, they're going to intensify. Managing all the forests in every way we can does not stop climate change. And those who deny that are definitely contributing to the tragedies that we're now witnessing and will continue to witness in the coming years.